Social Security system was created as a social insurance program for Filipino workers. It is mandated by RA 8282 or the Social Security Law to promote social justice and provide social meaningful protection to members and to their families against the hazards of disability, sickness, maternity, old age, death, and other contingencies resulting in loss of income or financial burden.
Ako po si Romilo Labiano Baran of Las Piñas, 62 years old. Isang voluntary member, nakapaghulog ako ng 120 months as provided by the SSS. Last 2014, ako po'y nakatanggap ng aking voluntary pension sa halagang 21,000 sana. Pero ang lahat ng ito ay nakarating po sa akin ay 4,300 pesos. Pero bago yan, ako po ay nakapaghulog ng aking contribution through Penalty Condonation Program last 2012. Yung pala, napag-alaman ko na ang aking hinulog ay hindi na i-post noong mga taong yun.
Unfortunately, even if the member does his duties and responsibilities, for some, their rights and their right to receive their benefits from SSS are not met.
Yung inaasam po namin mag-asawa, gawa nung wala kaming pag-maintenance ng gamot, 17,000, malaki na po yun. Sa amin, mahihirap.
What is the normal time for SSS to review and or approve applications for loans and benefits? What should SSS members do if their application for loans and benefits is not approved? Where can these members go to file a complaint for their problems with SSS?
Good evening. You are watching Legal Help Desk Online TV. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno.
And I'm Attorney Rod Nepomuceno. Tonight, we'll discuss your legal rights with regards to Social Security System or SSS, what you need to know about applying for loans and claiming your benefits, and what you need to do should problems occur with your SSS account.
Our guest for tonight is Attorney Dorenda Dasmariñas, Attorney 3, Corporate Legal Department of SSS. Good evening, Attorney Dory.
Good evening, ma'am. Attorney Dorin. Now, this is an MRT. I call it MRT, most requested topic. Sa legal. Everyone
because
is...
practically everyone is covered by
asking
SSS.
about this, yes.
And I think here we see Mr. Ronilo Baran, I think who also shares the same experience with some Filipinos, wherein nagbibigay naman siya, nagbabayad siya, but then I suppose something went wrong with the system and he's unable to claim his benefits. What would you advise him to do?
We'll start off with that with the case study. Yung with the case study with si Danilo nga.
And hopefully others who are experiencing the same problem can find a speedy way or expedited way to solve it.
Okay. I understand that he is already a retired pensioner, no, or he is qualified to become a retired pensioner because, as he said, he had contributed 120 contributions. When you apply with SSS, you are asked whether to receive a lump sum amount on the first 18 months of your pension. So probably, he opted for 18 months advance pension and he was expecting for 21,000 pesos as advance pension, but as I understand, he only received 4,000.
4,000, yeah.
So maybe he had a loan with SSS which has to be deducted from his lump sum benefit.
Okay.
But according to him, he went to SSS, he applied for condonation of the loan. Of penalty. So I do not know if the application that he applied was really approved, because there are also cases wherein they thought that they were already approved, but hindi naman pala.
So, Attorney Dory, in this case, what's the best way to do to ask? Won't the SSS, as soon as they give, kunwari si Mr. Ranilo, as soon as ibigay sa kanya 4,000 pesos, does it not include a document that already lists basically his credit balance and the debits made and his, for instance, penalties, if any?
There is a letter attached to the Actually, it's not attached, but actually a letter informing them that their application has already been approved and that they are going to receive so much amount from this bank where he opened an account. So, and according to him, in the case that this was not, he paid, but this was not credited. Siguro, we will help na lang Mr.
Danilo, no?
Danilo Baran.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Danilo Baran, your number is here with us. We will verify with our record because I think we really have to dig into the record of the SSS.
Each case is different, I would imagine.
Yes.
Now, we started with a case study, but I think we should start off, take a step back and ask, no, the social security system, as the name implies, it provides security, obviously, no, and the first benefit there is retirement. But there are a host of benefits that our televiewers can avail of. So let's start off. What are the benefits that SSS?
Maybe quickly. There's a lot, but
quickly.
bullet points.
Okay. We have the sickness benefit.
Sickness benefit,
So,
all right.
if the member is absent from his work due to sickness or injury for at least 4 days, he is entitled to sickness benefit provided that he has no more leave credits from the office.
So for instance, if you have, under our labor code, you're only entitled, or basically what's mandatory is the service incentive leave. So if the employer only provides a service incentive leave, the generic, and it's not labeled as sick leaves, then you can automatically go to SSS if you're sick and absent.
Yes. And then we also have the disability benefit. So sometimes if the sickness continues for more than 120 days, then he is entitled to disability benefit. It's either
like
partial.
one third of the year.
It's either partial or permanent. And then we also have the maternity benefit if this is for female members up to 4 miscarriage, deliveries, or
Is the price for cesarean higher than normal delivery?
Actually, we give longer. Kasi if normal, we give 60 days, but
60 days worth of the pay.
if the CS section, it's 78 days. So it's longer. Kasi the rationale is that it is longer for CS to heal.
And Attorney Dory, before we move on to the next benefit, my question is, if you have an employer that already provides for maternity benefit, can you get both benefits from your employer and also from SSS?
Or do they exclude each other?
I think they exclude each other because the purpose of actually all the payment of benefit is a parang substitute for the loss of the income
so
that you incur during.
You can't claim twice.
Unless you are unless it is under the Magna Carta of Women, because under the Magna Carta of Women, benefits are given to women on gynecological problems, so they can also so double recovery.
Okay, so let's talk about naman yung you enumerated several benefits.
I'm interested in one more benefit.
Yeah, one more benefit. I think
what about those who experience calamities? What type of benefits can they get from SSS? Kunwari, na typhoon ka, nagbinagyo.
Actually, it's not really.
It's not standard.
It's not really benefit. It's just a loan. So
allows you to
get avail of
But I guess that's
from
still a
SSS.
benefit to the extent that you have access to this if you become a member of SSS.
Yeah, we can.
Now, there's also death and funeral as well.
Funeral of 20,000 pesos given to those who help defray the cost of the funeral or the funeral services.
Given to those who help defray.
It's not really actually to the wife or the relatives of the member, but to those who help defray. So if it is the employer who paid for the funeral services, then the payment will go to the...
All right. Okay.
Then there is the death, of course, upon the death of the member.
It goes to the beneficiaries, to the family.
It goes to the family, and then the retirement.
Okay. Now let's talk about membership. How does one become a member? Because we all know that if you're employed, in the private sector.
It's required
It's
to
required.
mandatorily
So tell
cover
us,
your employees,
tell us
right?
the two. I mean, the several ways. There are several ways to be a member.
Yeah. First is if you are employed. So upon employment, your employer is required to report you to SSS within 1 month.
Within 1 month.
Within 1 month, you have the employer has within 1 month to report the member to the SSS. And then there are also those who are self-employed, like the actors,
Yeah, artists, I guess.
artists, or even the
Or even
cigarette
professionals,
vendors.
lawyers,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
instance, or doctors.
Lawyers, yes,
yeah.
and even the cigarette vendors. No? Then all they have to do is apply, fill up a form, which is we call the SSS form RS1.
Is that available
And
online
then-
now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
our
Available
documents are available online. They can fill it up, and in fact, they can also print it out. And then for the voluntary members, these are members who used to be employed or who used to be self-employed and wants to continue paying contributions to SSS so that they can avail of the full benefit of SSS. They may pay on a voluntary basis. We call them the voluntary members.
Okay.
And included in the voluntary members are the OFWs.
Oh, all right.
Or
Okay.
OFWs.
So even if an OFW is employed abroad by an employer, those foreign employers are not required to
Yeah.
mandatorily include them in the
Yeah,
SSS.
yeah.
Okay. Sige, there's still more to discuss, and we'll get back to that. And thank you so far for helping us, Attorney Dory. Legal Help Desk will return after these messages. You're still watching Legal Help Desk on 9TV with our guest, Attorney Dorenda Dasmariñas. And of course, kanina we were talking about employers or mandatorily required to register employees sa SSS. And I'd like to remind our viewers that this includes kasambahay. So for those who have kasambahays, you have to cover them also sa SSS. And right now, I think we have a caller on the line. Hello?
Hi po, good evening.
Yes, hi, Gina?
Yes po.
Yes, Gina, good evening. What's your question?
Yes po, question ko lang po, kasi po I had a miscarriage noong September 3, and I am a continuous contributor naman po sa SSS since 2000, and nag-file na po ako ng Mat 1 and Mat 2 documents through my employer, second week pa po ng September. And then I checked with SSS by second week of October, wala daw pong documents na final under my name. So I confirmed it with my employer, and I even asked them, kasi po nakalagay dun sa MAT 2 na ina-advance po dapat daw ito ng employer. So to sum it up, hanggang ngayon po, hindi ko pa rin po nakukuha yung maternity benefit ko. And ang question ko lang po is, obligatory po ba na ina-advance ni employer yung benefit, maternity benefit sa empleyado?
Yes.
All right,
Attorney
Dory.
Dory.
Yeah, actually, that's the normal procedure. The employer advances the maternity benefit to the member, and then it's the employer who asks from SSS for a reimbursement. Actually, there are instances where it's really very, very hard to require. Sometimes
You mean the employer does not voluntary?
You're talking about the implementation, actual
implementation.
enforcement.
So what
So
can,
infirms-
for instance, Gina, obviously she's being deprived of the advance by the employer. What can she do to get access to the
To the
Actually,
advance.
she can go to SSS, any branch near her, and then ask for assistance from the SSS. Because we have SSS employees, we call them the accounts officers, who go to these employers and require these employers to advance or to give the benefit to the...
And what kind of enforcement, ma'am? How do you, for example, if someone does come to your help desk, for example, and do you get, what kind of, I guess, penalties can you provide the employer if just to enforce the right, no? to get an advance maternity benefit?
Actually, these employers, we call them violation of the SS law. So if they violate the SS law, then we file cases against them. But we provide them with chances naman.
period.
Chances naman.
But in this case, Gina does not have to bring a lawyer. Is it easy to file a complaint?
Of course. Not.
Okay.
No need.
So Gina, you can go to
In
the
fact, you
nearest
can
SSS.
you can come to our office
Yeah,
at
or you
the
can
corporate
look for
legal
attorney,
department.
Look for Attorney Doreen. The Attorney Dasmariñas, yes. So,
Sa SSS, Cubao po ba or sa main?
Sa main, sa 4th floor.
Okay.
Okay po.
Now we're flashing din, Gina,
Yeah.
sa screen namin. The different, one, you have the website, the call center, the trunk line, tsaka yung office ng
Yes, ma'am. Kasi
SSS.
po ang nilalason po ni employer sa akin is marami daw hinihingi and first time lang daw po nila na-experience yung miscarriage. Kaya, I don't know, parang hindi na po ako naniniwala sa kanila eh.
Oo. And I think that's irrelevant, di ba? Na
Maraming
assuming marami
requirements,
requirements. That's still their job.
Because there must also be some documentation to prove that indeed he had miscarriage, like hospital records. Pero it should not be the reason why you will not be given your maternity benefit.
all right.
Sige. We hope we helped you answer your question,
Yeah, Gina, I hope you're...
Yes, you did.
File that
Thank
complaint.
you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mark has a question for us. Let's watch this.
Anong mga benepisyo ang binibigay ng SSS sa mga membro nito?
Okay.
Kanina we covered some of
Yeah.
the benefits.
Yeah,
Have
so-
we left out anything?
No, but maybe we can discuss yung ano yung requirements, how much contribution should they have made for each of those benefits? Iba-iba ba yung rules?
Iba-iba. Iba-iba. For example, sa
Retirement. Let's start with retirement.
retirement. So you need to have a minimum of 120 contributions.
So it's around 10 years.
Yeah,
10
more or
years
less
of
10 years. And then, in order for you to avail of that benefit, you must already be 60 years old and no longer employed or self-employed.
employed.
So you are no longer earning income. That's 120 contributions minimum. But if you are still earning income, the mandatory retirement is at 65. Whether you are earning income or not, then you are mandatorily required na, or you are mandatorily retired na. So you can have your pension.
Attorney Doreen, what about, for instance, yung sick leave? If you are sick and you are unable to work, how much would the benefits be? Does it depend on how much contributions you also pay?
Yeah. With regard to sickness, it's more of a medical issue, and they have these
Table or
schedules of how much are they going to pay for. But I think
It's not dependent on
yeah.
your salary.
It is
magkaiba
also
kaming salary
dependent
ni Ron.
on the number of contributions that you paid, on the amount that you paid. But the minimum requirement is that 3 contributions within the last, meron pa kaming ganun, ano? Within the last 12 years prior to the semester of sickness.
Okay.
So magbibilang ng backward.
Now going back to your retirement, the retirement benefit, no, you said that he or she should have contributed 120
20 contributions.
Now, did
Minimum.
this have to be consecutive? What if he or she missed out a few months there? Is it still possible to claim?
It is still possible to claim.
Okay, so not
provided
necessarily na
that he has
continuous.
accumulated 120
20 pay.
contributions.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We have another question, and this is from Linda.
Pwede ho bang mag-apply ng loan ang mga retired na member ng SS?
And loan. Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
No, okay.
No, only
So
for
as soon as
those who
you
are
claim-
currently paying their
But I understand
contributions.
you provide an 18-month advance for new pensioners, right? Is that the case?
Yeah,
You offer them kind of an advance lump
advanced
sum.
pension. Advanced pension for 18 months. So, if you receive the pension in lump for 18 months, then for 18 months you're not going to receive
anything.
After 18 months, then you
Is
receive again the pension.
there may interest ba yun? Is that advance discounted?
May
or-
discounted. It's
It is
discounted.
discounted.
Meaning you'll
Okay.
get less than what
You
you,
get less
could
than
have
what
been
you-
entitled.
oh.
Parang na-advance mo na kasi.
Okay. All right. So basically, you don't give out loans for non-member. I mean, for
Retired.
retirees, but upon the time that you become a retiree, you offer that 18. In a way, it's like
In
a
advance,
loan.
yeah.
It's like
And if you're also retired from your work because you're already 60, but you intend to continue to be a member, can you continue paying
Yes,
contributions?
you can still continue paying as a voluntary member.
All right. Okay, so our next question is from Harry. And his question is, I'm planning to file an early retirement from my company. I'm 51 years old. Wow, aga. And I receive a salary of 20,000 pesos. If I reach the age of 60, how much will my pension be then? Ako, medyo may table siguro to, ma'am. Can you answer more or less how much
Or
pension
at least, maybe estimate lang, you don't have to give the
Actually,
exact
kasi
amount.
the pension kasi depends on the number of contributions that you have. 120 is just minimum.
Minimum.
I think there are members who have paid for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
So it depends. And then it depends on the amount of your contribution. But the computation is that I think there is a basic 300 pesos. And then so much percentage of the average monthly salary credit, or this is the average of the last 60 months of your contributions, and then so much percentage for the number of years that you have contributed, or 40% of the average monthly pension, but
Whichever is higher.
whichever is higher,
Okay.
but meron kaming minimum of 1,200 for those who have contributed more than 10 years.
Okay, so
At
I guess
least
the
10
short
years.
message there is that make sure that you pay your contributions monthly
Ayan.
because it really affects how much you get.
We're flashing
and
the,
we're flashing here
the
an
computations.
estimate, no? Oo. But obviously, if you pay more and you're religious in paying, then you'll end up getting more as
Yeah,
well.
that's why we encourage the members, even the voluntary and the self-employed members, to really continue, make an effort to pay your monthly contributions.
And to monitor, no?
To monitor
kung
because
nare-record.
Sayang din.
Oo.
you will get benefit not only for retirement but for sickness and maternity
leaves,
or
yeah.
disability.
Yeah,
So
that's
these
true.
are short-term benefits that we call. So it's really
It helps to monitor and pay, right? We have another question from Alexander. I'm 38 years old and I have been working for more than 15 years. My total contribution to SSS is more than 200,000 pesos. Can I withdraw my lump sum contribution to SSS to pay for my existing housing loan to Pag-ibig?
Pwede ba yun? Is that how it works? Yung total
No.
O ililipat mo, no? Sa ibang ahensya naman.
Unfortunately, you cannot withdraw your contribution prior to retirement. So actually, it's not really a withdrawal of contribution, but more of a pension after you retire. But before retirement, we do not allow withdrawal of contributions.
But he can take a loan, right?
But he can take a loan.
And is that possible? He can take a loan from SSS and then use it to pay his loan in Pag-ibig?
Or kailangan business loan or housing loan yan? Or
The loan that is available to the members is the salary loan.
Salary
loan.
Okay.
Salary
So based on his salary, he can take out a loan. Alright.
And
So
he can-
Actually, not the whole salary, because if
Yes.
he earns 100,000 or 50,000, he can only avail of, because in SSS, ang contribution namin is only up to 16,000 of your salary.
16,000.
We deduct SS contributions up to 16,000 only of your salary. So even if you're earning 50,000 or 100,000, up to 16,000 lang ang.
Yun naman.
So yun lang din yung magiging available
Yeah,
sa'yo, basically.
yun lang din yan.
Okay.
Pero siguro it's time for us naman din to plug na we have this program called the Peso Fund.
Okay.
Actually, this has already been launched, but it's not yet operational, probably first quarter of next year. This is on a voluntary basis. They can contribute to the SSS
It's kind of an
and then
investment? Like an
yeah,
investment?
like an investment, and then they can withdraw 35% of that. They can withdraw for medical and educational
Loan.
benefit. No, not
loan.
loan, but it's their money. They can withdraw
But
it.
what
Okay.
interest is it earning?
It's a higher interest.
interest.
We guarantee that it's higher than the ordinary
bank.
Savings in the bank.
Okay, thank you for that, Attorney Doreen. We'll talk more about other products offered by SSS and answer more questions after our break. Legal Help Desk will return, so stay tuned.
If you are self-employed or separated from your previous employment or run your own business, having an SSS membership can be beneficial to you and your family as it provides financial aid should you need to avail of your benefits such as sickness, maternity, and disability benefits. Having an SSS membership will also be beneficial should you retire or pass away, as these will ensure the future of your family in the long run. For those who are self-employed and earning at least 1,000 pesos, you will need to submit a completed SS Form RS1 with the original certified true copy or a photocopy of any of the following valid IDs: birth certificate, passport, baptismal certificate, driver's license, PRC card, or seaman's book, and an original copy or photocopy proof of your source of income that can be in the form of the following: business permit, DTI registration, PRC license, receipts of commissions from sales, barangay certification of source of income, receipts of payments for online work, printout of webpage showing payments for online work, or vehicle registration and franchise papers. You will then receive a copy of your RS1 form, approved and stamped by the SSS, and can now start paying your contributions. For those who have separated or have stopped working for their previous employers but should still like to continue paying your contributions, you'll first need to submit SS Form RS5 using the previously assigned SS number before making any payment. By posting the said payment, your membership status will change from covered employee to a voluntary paying member. Always remember to pay your SSS contributions monthly or quarterly. Register with my.sss at the SSS website if you have provided at least 1 month's contribution. Be aware of changes and improvements in the SSS policies and benefit structure to fully utilize your benefits.
You're still tuned in to Legal Help Desk on 9TV with our guest, Attorney Dorenda Dasmariñas. And we have another caller on the line, Ms. Marites of Pangasinan. Hello, Ms. Marites.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Marites, what is your question? Yeah. How will we help?
Sir, ang question ko po, bali, ilang months po ang hihintayin for the recomputation of monthly pension?
Ilang months ang hihintayin for the recomputation of the monthly pension? Did we get you correctly?
Yes, sir.
Attorney.
I think we also have to ask her why she is asking for a recomputation of the monthly pension.
Marites, bakit daw kailangan ng recomputation?
Bali po, may request po for manual verification. Hindi po naisama yung 1980 to 1990 na contributions ng father ko, ma'am.
Pwede ba yun from the father to... pero Marites, we're talking about yung SSS ng father mo or sa'yo?
Sa father ko po. Bali, nagpe-pension na po siya ngayon. Yung unang pension niya po, hindi po naisama yung 1980 to 1990 na contribution niya, ma'am.
Okay.
So actually, I cannot answer really how long will it take. It depends on the situation. But siguro pagtsagaan lang niyang i-follow up.
How does she expedite how does Marites expedite the recomputation?
I-follow up na lang siguro niya sa branch.
Will it help kung may mga dokumento na hawak yung father ni Marites na sa kanila para matulungan yung pag-compute?
Kasi ang what is tricky is the manual verification because we have to dig into the records of the SSS. So, we really have to verify kung meron ba talagang hulog for that period. Kaya siguro niyang...
Yes, Marites?
Hello po. Actually, ma'am, kompleto po siya. Bali, nakakuha ng certification galing sa previous employer niya. Meron po yung 1980 to 1990. Ayun po, sabi naman po ng SSS Organeta branch, talagang matagal daw po siya. Kaya lang po, kung ilang months talaga abutin yung
Makakatulong ba?
monthly verification na yun, ma'am.
Makakatulong ba kung pupunta sila sa main office or Ordaneta lang? Ordaneta Pangasinan
Ordaneta
lang?
na lang because mamamasahe pa sila, mahal din. Anyway, in close contacts naman yung mga branches natin with the main office if the record is in the main office, no? Siguro pagtiyagaan mo lang antayin, Marites, and then ano lang siguro follow up lang, pagtiyagaan mo lang.
Kasi 1982 pa yan, di ba? So,
Oo,
1982
kasi we really have
Hindi
to,
po automated
ano,
that time.
Alright.
Pero kung sakaling palagay nila ay mabagal talaga kumilos yung sa Pangasinan, can they go and complain to the main
May
office?
help desk ba? May help desk or let's say hotline that they
we have a hotline.
Okay.
We have a
Which is-
hotline.
Maybe you can mention the hotline now, ma'am, if you're...
Yun yung flash
I'm
natin.
not-
Hindi mo memorize ba?
I'm not-
Yeah,
But
we
we
flashed it on
we
the
flashed
screen
it earlier,
kanina.
yeah.
Ayan, we're flashing it now on the screen, Marites. Oo, pwede mong tawagan yung hotline pag palagay mo talagang sobrang bagal na at
Yeah.
hindi lang nila naasikaso ng maayos.
Okay, Marites, hopefully we were able to help you.
Yes, sir.
Ano
Yes.
na lang
Thank
siguro.
you po.
Yes, ma'am.
They
Yes.
can also call us at the 4th floor legal department or our media affairs department, which is ever ready or willing to help members.
Okay.
Sige.
Alright.
Marites, you can also call them, sila
Yes.
attorney.
Sila
Yes,
Attorney
Doreen.
Doreen. Ayan, this Marinas. Ayan. All right, on the line now, we have Mil of Marikina. Mil, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Mil. Yes, how can we help you?
Hello?
Hello,
Yes,
yes. Hi, Mil. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tatanong ko lang po regarding dun sa Department Order number 112A, yung Magna Carta for women, of all women.
Okay.
Kasi this coming January, I might undergo surgery. Meron po akong tatanggalin na sa uterus ko. Now, I talked to our company earlier and discussed about this department order. Ngayon, on Section 7, it says here, yung partnership ng SSS and the SBL, kasi it's different. It's two different things. However, when we called Dolly earlier, ang sabi po sa amin, ma'am, ang kalakaran po is either the company pays and then yung SSS hindi na. And in some other cases, sa ibang branches daw po, nade-deny yung iba.
Because
So, I want to
because nakakakuha na kayo from your employer, is that correct?
Yes, oo, yes. Pero I'm just thinking na ang klaro-klaro, lalo na tong amendment number, in 2012, this department order was amended and very clear na dito yung SSS contribution is different from the SBL. So, ano pong i-expectant ko after I go through the surgery?
I'm very impressed with Mil.
Yeah,
Talaga
she really
nag-research
reviewed.
siya.
She
Oo,
really
good
researched.
job, Mil. But what do you think, Attorney Doreen?
Actually, as I have mentioned earlier, the benefit under the Magna Carta of Women is different from the benefit under the SSS.
Okay.
Actually, during the initial implementation of the law, there was some confusion because actually, siguro kaya nagkaganon. But as of now, ang alam ko is that even if you receive the benefit from your employer for that gynecological problem, you can also receive the sickness or whatever, or the disability, if it is the disability
Under the Magna
benefit
Carta.
from the SSS. So there are two different...
So separate benefits nga.
Separate benefits.
So in this case, Mil can really claim for her surgery.
But
And then apart from that, yung sa disability naman.
Yung sa ano niya, from the employer, benefit from the employer, and then different benefit from SSS.
In
Okay.
this case, depende sa days na incapacitated siya to work. It's either sick leave benefits or yung disability benefits.
So, Mil, ma'am, can Mil go to the office to get some kind of, let's say, is there a ruling that SSS legal can provide for
Oo, para
guidance?
doon naman sa employer niya. Hindi rin
kasi-
siya ma-reject na, oy, covered ka na ng SSS,
to avoid
diba?
to avoid nga the confusion.
Siguro, punta na lang muna siya sa branch na malapit sa kanya. Because alam naman ng mga branches na namin yan,
Alam daw ng mga branches ng SSS about this rule, no? So I guess what the good news now is that now that you've spoken to one of the top lawyers ng SSS, you can say now you've watched legal help desk and confirm na it's this is two
our
separate
episodes are available online in case
Yes.
ayaw nila maniwala. They can rewatch the episode and hear
Yes.
the advice of Attorney Doreen.
Okay.
Sige po.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mel.
Mel. Good luck. Good
All
luck
right.
with your surgery.
All right, we still have a couple more questions from our viewers. From Mar, I am a member of SSS for 45 months since I started working for my previous employer. I now run a business and have stopped contributing to my SSS. Can I ask for a refund or can I get all of the money that was deposited on my SSS account? I believe I'm entitled to it since it's my money and I need it as additional funding for my business. Yan. Money ba nila yan? Yung kinontribute nila sa
Yeah,
SSS?
it's their money, but they cannot just ask
withdraw
for
it, parang
withdraw it
bangko.
or refund. In fact, I encourage him to continue paying the contributions because he said that he is currently having a business. So he can be a member, a self-employed member. So he can continue paying his contributions so that by the time he is 60 or 65 years old, then he'll get
Enjoy the
higher
retirement. But in this
benefit.
case, if he needs the money for his business, like he mentioned, he can just take a loan from SSS,
Yeah,
correct?
he can take a loan, yeah.
And
So,
also, just as a question, yung money na yon, assuming ang decision niya talaga is, no, I want my money back, is that possible?
No, it's
Oo.
not.
So kasi just to clarify, no, I think your contributions doesn't make you a stockholder of SSS.
Or this is
that
not like
allows
a
you-
bank
oh, it's
na
not like a
parang
bank na
deposit yung
dineposit mo, no?
contributions.
Oh,
it's
a
actually
membership.
going, para siyang premium payments sa insurance,
Yes,
di ba? Na
oo,
hindi mo
correct.
naman pwedeng bawiin. It's
Like-
really
it's
you're
like,
paying
it's
for
like
the
a premium
coverage.
payment and you are entitled to certain benefits because of the premium payment.
Okay,
Alright.
interesting. At ang dami
Yes.
talagang questions. Thank you so much, Attorney Doreen, for
Okay.
helping us answer them. Legal Help Desk will return after the short break. Welcome back to Legal Help Desk on 9TV with our guest, Attorney Dorenda Dasmariñas. And now we have another caller on the line, Ronald of Novaliches. Ronald?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, this is a question and also a suggestion maybe.
Sure.
May marketing scheme po ba ang SSS? Halimbawa, a lump sum investment.
Lump sum investment?
Lump sum investment.
For example po, kukumpletuhin na ng member yung 10-year na requirement for having a monthly pension when reaching the retirement age of 60.
So you're asking if you can invest in the SSS, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You
Yeah.
mean, kunwari, you mean, kung hindi ka pa aabot sa 120, tama ba? 120 contributions?
Yes,
Are you
sir, pwede
asking
po.
na parang kung pwedeng magbigay ka na lang ng bulk sum
Yes,
payment?
kukumpletuhin po yung 10 years.
Oo.
Yeah.
Is
that
that
possible?
possible?
I guess
Parang
what he's asking-
fina-fast track mo, oo,
Yeah.
na because hindi ka nagko-contribute before, pero malapit ka na mag-retire, so bigla mo na lang ibibigay yung lump sum na required to qualify.
Yes,
Tama
Ronald.
ba, Ronald?
Sorry, Ronald?
Opo, tama po.
Oo.
And ang mag-benefit po nito, yung mga the usual, nag-earn po ng more than the usual. For example, athlete, celebrities,
Yeah.
mga entrepreneur,
Yes.
yung kayang mag-afford.
So you're saying you have extra funds, you want to give a lump sum to SSS so that you can avail of more benefits to SSS, is that correct?
Aside from that, para secure na rin yung pagtanda.
Kasi I think they have the impression that they can invest it and later on pull it out. Is that possible that they can they'll invest?
Under the current system, no, they cannot just pull it out. But if he wants to
Become a member.
pay in lump, then he can, but he has to wait until such time na pwede na siyang mag-retire. So pwede niyang bayaran, halimbawa he is 55 years old and then gusto ko nang bayaran up to 60 years old ako. So bigay ako ng lump. After 6,
Pag nag-16 na siya, he
saka
can
pa
start
niya.
getting the benefits.
Can-
Tama ba yung na-answer namin,
Tama
Ronald?
ba po yung namin?
Hindi po, ang concept po ay hindi pwedeng i-pull out. I-maintain po yung retirement age na 60, and then saka lang po siya
Yes, saka mo lang ma-avail.
And Attorney Doreen here is explaining na pwede mong i-lump sum payment to qualify up to, for instance, kung 55 ka nga, up to the age of 60, bayad mo na yung contributions mo. But in terms of enjoying the
benefits,
retirement benefits, it will start kicking in when you hit 60.
Kaya lang, as I have mentioned earlier, we have this peso
You have a peso fund,
fund.
yeah.
We have this peso fund.
Okay.
But it is required that if you are a self-employed member or a voluntary member, you must first pay your basic SS contribution up to the maximum before you can contribute to the peso fund. So, if you are now, the maximum contribution now is 1,760
Per month.
Per month. So you have to pay 1,760 per month, and if you have extra money, then you can contribute to the peso fund. The minimum contribution is 1,000, and the maximum is 100,000 every year.
Every year. Okay.
And you can avail of 30% of that. Right?
There is a retention of 5 years, but actually, you can withdraw it before 5 years siguro, pero may mga penalties
So you
na.
can withdraw
Ronald, that's also an option for you.
Option.
If you can afford na babayaran mo yung minimum na SSS contribution per month na 1,760, and then any excess money that you can give, pwede mo ilagay dun sa peso fund.
Up to 100,000 pesos.
Okay. Hope we were able to hope we were able to address your question, Ronald.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for calling. All right, our next question is from Enrico. My parents are legally married, but my father abandoned us in 2001 for a third party. We didn't know the whereabouts of my father, and an aunt told us that according to the mistress, he died sometime in 2010. We are the listed beneficiaries of his SSS, but we don't have a copy of his death certificate. How can we get this document to claim the benefits? Is there another legal option we can practice to claim the benefits from SSS?
So in this case, hindi sila sure kung patay na.
Yeah, sure na.
Well, okay. But I mean, wala silang death certificate and...
wala silang copy of the death certificate.
Actually, the death certificate is the basic document for the payment of death benefit. So maybe he can ask when his father died, and then get a copy
in 2010
of the death certificate from the National Statistics Office or the NSO, and before he goes to the SSS, because it's a basic document.
So in this case, unfortunately, there's no way to go around that requirement. You really have to get the death certificate.
Yun yung document, yun ang basihan.
Yes. We have another question from Abby. I am a victim of a bigamous marriage. I did not know that my husband was married to another prior to ours when I listed him as a beneficiary of my SSS. Can I change my SSS beneficiary and declare my 2 children as my only beneficiaries? Since it's a bigamous marriage, do I have to file for an annulment before I can do any changes to my SSS account?
Interesting yan. She's still legally married, even if it was a bigamous.
Tsaka gusto niya na palitan yung beneficiaries. In the first place, can she do that?
Actually, before we change the beneficiary, we require really the declaration of annulment. But it does not follow naman na if he cannot provide that, she cannot provide that document, then automatically husband pa rin niya ang magiging beneficiary. We will know, SSS will know who is the rightful beneficiary. Kung mamatay na siya, and then the children files for the death benefit, the children can just say na we are abandoned, or our mother is the second wife, and then the SSS will investigate. Okay. So it does not end there. Even if he cannot or she cannot provide us with a declaration of nullity, it does not also follow na magiging beneficiary yung husband niya. We will investigate.
Okay, that's good to know. Kasi baka may mangyari sa kanya. Yeah. Well, now we have another caller on the line, Miss Marikit. Hello, Miss Marikit, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening po. What's your question?
Ito po, 4 years ko na po itong pinoproblema. Nag-loan po yung husband ko noong 1983 and 1985. Total po siya ng less than 3,000. Nag-close po yung company nila noong 2005. Lagi po naman ako nag-i-inquire sa SSS Sub Office dito po sa Bataan. Wala naman daw pong lumalabas na record sa computer nila. Tapos nagbigay po ng condonation noong 2009. January 2010, nakatanggap po ako ng first billing nila sa akin, amounting to more than 30,000.
Tama ba yung amount? Tama ba yung amount? Ganun talaga yung loan?
Hindi, yung loan is only 3,000.
Nagbalon because of interest and penalties.
Interest and penalties. Yun ba yun? Tama, Marikit?
Ito po, nag-complain po ako dito sa sub-office po dito sa akin sa Maribeles, Bataan. Ngayon po, ang sa akin nagbayad po ako ng branch manager dito, si Ma'am Nernita Cruz. Bayaran ko daw po yung principal at saka interest na 7,925 para daw po makondone yung penalty. Pinayaran ko naman po siya September 2, 2010. Kaya lang po, hanggang ngayon ho, sinisingil pa rin ako ng SSS, malaking na ho. Kasi daw po, nung pinapalo up po siya hanggang dyan po sa main office, hindi pa daw po effective yung implementation ng condonation. Yung po yung pinoproblema ko po hanggang ngayon, bakit ganoon? Pinagbayad ako ng manager namin pagkatapos hindi naman pala yung condonation. Bakit po ganoon?
Binayad mo yung principal, is that correct? Binayad mo yung principal?
Ang principal niya saka interest is 7,925. Yung penalty po is 22,284.
Paano to, Attorney Doreen? Kasi 1980, tama ba yung pagkarinig ko, 1983 pa yung loan?
Maganda siguro, na lang, yung tingnan natin ang record niya. I cannot answer her question kasi depende kung when she filed for condonation. I really cannot understand
kung,
her
kunwari,
answer.
Kung hindi pa effective yung regulation that allows for condonation nung time na nag-apply siya for condonation, hindi mabubura yung penalties?
Hindi.
Or
kasi sa loan, as any loan, when you pay, your payment goes to the penalty first, then to the interest before the principal. So maybe hindi umabot sa cut-off. Hindi natin alam. Kaya siguro maganda na lang...
We have to check her records talaga.
Marikit,
mag-iwan na lang siya ng record.
Punta siya doon sa pinakamalapit na SSS office sa kanila.
Excuse me po, ma'am. Malaking
Hello?
Ma'am, ang hinahabol ko po kasi dito, pinagbayad po ako ng SSS manager namin. Yan po yung malaking question, bakit niya ako pinagbayad kung hindi pa pala effective yung implementation ng condonation? Naging SSS branch manager pa siya, tapos gano'n naman.
SSS branch manager. So, ganun ba may appeal process ba? Let's say, may appeal process ba sila? Can she go to the main office and ask for, meron bang record dyan na, Marikit, is that correct?
May record ba yung payment mo
may record
before?
ka ba ng payment? May record ka ba? May mga resibo ka?
Yes po, ito po ako. Actually po, nung Friday. Hello? Hindi ko po naririnig dito sa phone.
Okay.
Yes.
May mga records ka ba? May mga resibo?
Actually po, nung Friday, lumapit na po ako sa TV5. Hello?
Saan?
TV5.
TV5?
Okay.
Tapos wala ako pinapansin na doon sa office.
Okay. Ano bang...
Kasi po, hindi na nga po nila ako halos pansinin kasi po, pinangahawakan po nila yun daw yung kanila daw pong policy na ganun nga, hindi pa daw effective implementation. Ang inilalaban ko naman po, ito po, hawak-hawak ko po yung written instruction po nung aming dati dito branch manager na si Normita Cruz. Hawak ko po yung written instruction po niya.
Siguro
ito po,
ang importante dyan, Marikit, kung nakasulat ba sa written instruction na pay and then it will be condoned. Oo.
Babasahin ko po, ma'am.
Tignan mo na lang siguro, Marikit, kung meron
wala-
dyan specifically nakasulat na pag binayaran mo ay may condonation. Yun ang importante. Oo, kahit na hindi mo nabasahin yung buong letter sa amin. But I think
Siguro ano na lang,
ipakita mo.
siguro kung gusto niya, although malayo-layo siya, no? Sana makapunta nila lang siya sa main office siguro para titingnan natin yung mga records niya.
Okay.
Baka pwede namin siyang matulungan sa office. Kasi dito mukhang mahirap kasi kailangan natin titingnan yung kanyang record.
Marikit, I think we can't handle your case, yung buong case. Obviously,
kasi
we have to
kulang na sa
kulang tayo
time,
sa oras.
weekend,
But the best way is to maybe set an appointment with Attorney Dasmariñas.
Yes.
Kasi, of course, she can probably personally study your case and matignan yung records nga. No? Kung meron ka namang proof na sinabi ng SSS branch manager yon, then I don't see any reason why SSS cannot help you. All right?
Kailan ko po pwedeng mapuntahan si Atty. Dasmariñas?
Nasa 4th floor po ako ng main office sa East Avenue, SSS East Avenue. 4th floor, Corporate Legal Department.
Ayan. Attorney Dasmariñas, Marikit. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Kailan po pwedeng mapunta, ma'am?
Anytime.
Siguro tumawag ka na lang sa hotline and maybe have yourself connected kay Attorney Dasmariñas.
Andito, we're flashing the numbers ulit.
Ayan.
Thank
Okay. Ayan
you,
yung we're
Marikit.
flashing the
Good
numbers.
luck.
Good luck, Marikit.
Thank
you.
Meron ka na.
All right. We have another caller, Eduardo of Caloocan. This question is from... I'm sorry, we have another caller? All right, Eduardo? Okay, hi. Good evening, Eduardo.
Magandang gabi po, sir. Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Eduardo. Yes, what can we do for you?
Itatanong ko po, sir, kasi po, nung pong nagtatrabaho ko sa Hitachi, dito po sa Royal, sa EDSA. Opo, sir, hindi ko po kayo madinig, sir.
Yes, we're here.
Good evening.
Opo.
Yes.
Tapos po, umuwi na po akong province, hindi ko na natapos yung trabaho ko dyan sa electronics niya nung 70s, 80s.
Okay.
So, gusto ko pong ipagpatuloy yung SS ko. May nagpayo po sa akin na magano daw po ako, self-employed.
Okay.
Tapos po, nung tingnan po yung pong SS, nag-apply po ako, tiningnan po yung record ko, wala daw po akong hulog.
Yun yung mga problema minsan Wala. Okay,
walang hulog, hindi hinulog ng employer mo noong 1970s, 1980s.
Opo, sir. Opo.
Okay.
So, ginawa po, sabi po sa akin dito sa Metropolitan, dito po sa Manila, yung Metropolitan, meron pong SS branch dyan. Yung pong tulay papuntang Quiapo.
Okay.
Okay.
Sabi po sa akin, mag-apply daw po ako ng self-employed kasi wala na po akong work
Okay.
Ngayon po, nag-apply po ako noong 1997. Binigyan naman po ako na maghulog akong ganitong halaga.
Okay.
Up to now, nakatapos po ako, nito pong naka 10 years po ako, 122 months.
Okay.
Na-finish ko po yung self-employed ko. Opo, ang tanong ko po, sir, ano po ang magagawa ko? May karapatan na po ba akong tapusin na or maghulog pa po ba ako o pero na pa ba akong pension?
Ilang taon ka na, Eduardo?
62 na po ako ngayon.
Retirement na, oo.
Happy birthday ko lang po ng November
Happy birthday.
7.
Happy birthday.
Opo, salamat po.
Birthday gift namin po yung legal advice ni Attorney Dasmariñas.
Opo.
Pwede na po. Kasi 62 years old na kayo, meron na kayong 120 contributions. Kung hindi naman na po kayo nagtatrabaho or wala na kayong pinagkakakitaan, pwede na po kayo mag-apply for retirement benefit.
Opo.
Ako, Eduardo, sorry, idadagdag ko lang dun sa tanong mo. Yung nasabi mong dati pang binayaran na 1970s pa at nung tinanong mo ay walang record of it. Is that possible? Paano niya makukuha ulit yun yung records niya? Kasi sayang because it will affect kung magkano yung makuha niyang retirement.
I do not know if he already went to SSS and verified for his records, because he can ask for manual verification. So SSS will again dig into
through.
its records and then check if he was indeed paid his monthly contribution. If not, he can fill up a complaint affidavit against the employer, but ako ang advice ko, if that employer is still around, you can go to him and ask that they pay your contribution But if the employer will not pay, then he can fill up
File
a complaint affidavit with
O yun,
the
Eduardo,
SSS.
subukan mo na rin. So, para hindi naman masayang yung dating contributions nung nagtatrabaho ka pa since the 1970s.
Opo, nagtrabaho. Hello po, ma'am.
Hello. Yes.
Hello po, ma'am.
Yes, oo.
Nagtrabaho po ako sa Hitachi Service Center sa Royal.
Okay.
Opo, panahon pa po ni Marcos.
Sige po.
Opo,
sige.
tapos isa pa
sige.
po, ma'am. Hindi ko na po hahabulin yung sabi ng SS, wala na raw yung company yun.
Ay,
Kaya
So,
itinuloy ko na lang po nag-self-employed.
Di bale, abot ka na, nag-qualify ka na, naabot mo na yung minimum 120
Congratulations.
months na contribution. So, pwede ka na. Pwede ka na
naman
mag-apply
yun.
for
Pensionado ka
retirement.
na. Pensionado
ma'am,
na.
isa pa po. Nagpunta po ako sa SSS branch. Ang sabi sa akin, maghintay pa daw muna ako ng 3 months bago ako makapag-apply ng ng retirement po ba 'yon?
Retirement pension fund.
Kasi it depends kasi when his 120th contribution
Baka hindi ka pa
fell
umabot
due.
sa 120th.
Kasi we have this we have a certain period to observe before he probably 3 to 6 months.
Baka normal lang yun. Hintayin mo na lang. I-follow up mo na lang, Eduardo. Alright?
Okay, opo. Pero
Alright.
120 months po ako.
Opo.
Okay.
Kompleto po ako sa resibo lahat.
Okay,
Alright.
good.
Po lahat yung resibo.
Oo, sige,
Congratulations.
salamat. So,
Hindi lang po.
happy birthday
happy
na
birthday and,
pagka makaka-celebrate na siya with his pension.
Libre mo kami sa pension mo, ha?
Okay,
Alright.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, opo.
Alright.
Thank you,
Eduardo.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat.
Okay. That's all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you, Attorney Dasmariñas, for being with us tonight. We'd like to thank all our callers who entrusted their cases with us. And I'm Attorney Rod Nepomuceno.
And I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno. If you have any questions about our topic for tonight, you may post these on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Sulit na sulit ang guesting sa atin ni Attorney
Dapat may part 2 tayo.
Yes. Join us again next Monday as we discuss your legal rights. Good night.
Is not approved. Where can these members go to file a complaint for their problems with SSS?
Good evening. You are watching Legal Help Desk on 9TV. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno.
And I'm Attorney Rod Nepomuceno. Tonight, we'll discuss your legal rights with regards to Social Security System or SSS. What you need to know about applying for loans and claiming your benefits, and what you need to do should problems occur with your SSS account.
Our guest for tonight is Attorney Dorenda Dasmariñas, Attorney 3, Corporate Legal Department of SSS. Good evening, Attorney Dory.
Good evening, ma'am. Attorney Doreen. Now, this is an MRT. I call it MRT, most requested topic. Sa legal. Everyone
Because
is...
practically everyone is covered by
asking
SSS.
about this, yes.
And I think here we see Mr. Ronilo Baran, I think who also shares the same experience with some Filipinos, wherein nagbibigay naman siya, nagbabayad siya, but then I suppose something went wrong with the system and he's unable to claim his benefits. What would you advise him to do?
We'll start off with that with the case study. Yung with the case study with si Danilo nga.
And hopefully others who are experiencing the same problem can find a speedy way or expedited way to solve it.
Okay. I understand that he is already a retired pensioner, or he is qualified to become a retiree pensioner because, as he said, he had contributed 120 contributions. When you apply with SSS, you are asked whether to receive a lump sum amount on the first 18 months of your pension. So probably, he opted for 18 months advance pension and he was expecting for 21,000 pesos as advance pension, but as I understand, he only received 4,000.
4,000, yeah.
So maybe he had a loan with SSS which has to be deducted from his lump sum benefit.
Okay.
But according to him, he went to SSS, he applied for condonation
of the loan.
of penalty.
Of the penalty.
So I do not know if the application that he applied was really approved, because there are also cases wherein they thought that they were already approved, but hindi naman pala.
So Attorney Dory, in this case, what's the best way to do to ask? Won't the SSS, as soon as they give, kunwari si Mr. Ranilo, as soon as ibigay sa kanya 4,000 pesos, does it not include a document that already lists basically his credit balance and the debits made and his, for instance, penalties, if any?
There is a letter attached to the, actually it's not attached, but actually a letter informing them that their application has already been approved and that they are going to receive so much amount from this bank where he opened an account. So, and according to him, in the case that this was not, he paid, but this was not credited. Siguro, we will help na lang Mr.
Danilo, no?
Danilo Baran.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Danilo Baran, your number is here with us. We will verify with our record, because I think we really have to dig into the record of the SSS.
Each case is different, I would imagine.
Now,
we started with a case study, but I think we should start off, we'll take a step back and ask, no, the social security system, as the name implies, it provides security, obviously, no, and the first benefit there is retirement. But there are a host of benefits that our televiewers can avail of. So let's start off. What are the benefits that SSS?
Maybe quickly. There's a lot, but bullet points.
Okay, we have the sickness benefit.
Sickness benefit, all right.
If the of women, because under the Magna Carta of Women, benefits are given to women on gynecological problems, so they can also so double recovery.
Okay, so let's talk about naman yung, okay, you enumerated several benefits.
I'm interested in one more benefit.
Yeah, one more benefit. I think
what about those who experience calamities? What type of benefits can they get from SSS? Kunwari, na typhoon ka, nagbinagyo.
Actually, it's not really.
It's not standard.
It's not really benefit. It's just a loan. So
allows you to
get a loan.
But I guess it's still a benefit to the extent that you have access to this if you become a member of SSS.
Yeah, we can.
Now, there's also death and funeral as well.
Funeral of 20,000 pesos given to those who help defray the cost of the funeral or the funeral services.
Given to those who help defray.
It's not really actually to the wife or the relatives of the member, but to those who help defray. So if it is the employer who paid for the funeral services, then the payment will go to
all right. Okay.
Then there is the death, of course, upon the death of the member.
It goes to the beneficiaries, to the family.
It goes to the family. And then the retirement.
Okay. Now let's talk about membership. How does one become a member? Because we all know that if you're employed in the private sector,
it's required.
It's required.
Mandatorily
so tell
cover
us,
your employees,
tell us
right?
the two. I mean, the several ways. If there are several ways to be a member.
Yeah. First is if you are employed. So upon employment, your employer is required to report you to SSS within 1 month.
Within 1 month?
Within 1 month. You have the employer has within 1 month to report the member to the SSS. And then there are also those who are self-employed, like the actors, artists, or even the cigarette vendors.
Lawyers, for instance.
If a member is absent from his work due to sickness or injury for at least 4 days, he is entitled to sickness benefit, provided that he has no more leave credits from the office.
So for instance, if you have, under our labor code, you're only entitled, or basically what's mandatory is the service incentive leave. So if the employer only provides a service incentive leave, the generic, and it's not labeled as sick leaves, then you can automatically go to SSS if you're sick and absent.
Yes. And then we also have the disability benefit. So sometimes if the sickness continues for more than 120 days, then he is entitled to disability
So
benefit. It's
effectively
either
like
partial.
one third of the year.
Yeah,
you're
it's either
receiving.
partial or permanent. And then we also have the maternity benefit if this is for female members up to 4 miscarriage, deliveries, or miscarriage
Is
and
the
deliveries.
price for cesarean higher than normal delivery?
Actually, we give longer. Kasi if normal, we give 60 days. But
60 days worth of the pay.
if the CS section, it's 78 days. So it's longer. Kasi the rationale is that it is longer for CS to heal.
And Attorney Dory, before we move on to the next benefit, my question is, if you have an employer that already provides for maternity benefit, can you get both benefits from your employer and also from SSS?
Or do they exclude each other?
I think they exclude each other because the purpose of actually all the payment of benefit is a parang substitute for the loss of
For the
the
loss.
income
So you
that you
can't
incur
claim.
during.
You can't claim twice. Is that-
Unless you are unless it is under the Magna Carta.
The Social Security system was created as a social insurance program for Filipino workers. It is mandated by RA 8282 or the Social Security Law to promote social justice and provide social meaningful protection to members and to their families against the hazards of disability, sickness, maternity, old age, death, and other contingencies resulting in loss of income or financial burden.
Ako po si Romilo Labiano Baran of Las Piñas, 62 years old. Isang voluntary member, nakapaghulog ako ng 120 months as provided by the SSS. Last 2014, ako po'y nakatanggap ng aking voluntary pension sa halagang 21,000 sana. Pero ang lahat ng ito ay nakarating po sa akin ay 4,300 pesos. Pero bago ho yan, ako po ay nakapaghulog ng aking contribution through Penalty Condonation Program last 2012. Yun pala, napag-alaman ko na ang aking hinulog ay hindi na i-post noong mga taong yun.
Unfortunately, even if the member does his duties and responsibilities, for some, their rights and their right to receive their benefits from SSS are not met.
Yung nga ho, inaasahan po namin mag-asawa, gawa nung wala kaming pag-maintenance ng gamot. 17,000, malaki na po yun. Sa amin, mahihirap.
What is the normal time for SSS to review and or approve applications for loans and benefits? What should SSS members do if their application for loans and benefits